yes, I'm a pharmacist and I want to read the drug. I need to read the meaning of this drug to you. And the guy now starts saying, no. So hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and if it's your first time stopping by here, you are most definitely welcome. We have this clap that we give for all our first time subscribers, all the people that are watching our video for the first time, and I'm here to give that clap now. So as you guys can see from my caption, you know what this video is about. It's about to get hot in here because please, I don't know if I okay. Anyways, let me get into the video so that you guys just understand the context. And to be honest, I'm really grateful to God for wisdom because it's just God that just really saved me that day. Right now, I won't have been here telling the story. It's have been something else. So, if you don't know what you're doing, you need to go and get your popcorn because it's about to get hot in here. Like, about to get some. This is so nice, by the way. About to get some juicy juice. Does that make sense? Some juicy juice out of this juice. Okay, so let me just get right into it. My friend got married last year. If you watch my previous video, you'd see I tagged her there. Let me even go back to the beginning of the story. So the thing is that we had a bridal shower like 2 weeks to her wedding. And that day, for some reasons, I wasn't going to drive. We ended up driving. And it started raining when I got to the mainland. It wasn't raining on the island. It started raining when I got to the mainland. And for some reasons, I kept on missing my turn. I missed my turn the first time. I missed my turn the second time. And then at this point, I start to panic because I'm like, I don't even know where I am. The next thing, I found myself at Ikorodu. Mind you, I was coming from the island going to Ikeja. So how did I get to Ikorodu? At that point, everywhere was flooded. I didn't even know where to turn from again. Like it was just no. Sorry. I actually found myself in K2. Yes. Then the next time we were going to be at Ikorodu, that was what happened. I was already panicking. And mind you, on my way, before I even got to K2, somebody had hit my car. Like this guy that had a big truck hit my car, and I didn't even think the dent was that bad. The next time I started hearing him, I started hearing him cussing from, from outside. He started trying to cuss me and started trying to embarrass me. But it was even raining. He couldn't come out from his car, but I could hear him because his glass was wound down. And one thing I learned is that when you are somewhere that you don't really know, you don't have to come out to start fight. That was what he just taught me. I decided to let it go. When I got to the shower eventually, I got there a bit late, but I still got there before the bride. I realized that my mirror, my side mirror, the back of it was already off. Like, that means the guy had scratched me and taken that off. So that was the day I decided that the wedding I was going to go for, I wasn't going to drive. And that's the reason why I did not drive to this wedding. So I went to the wedding that day. Apparently, I was the chief bridesmaid. So I actually went the day before. So I slept in the hotel. Everything was good and fine. We got to the wedding venue because I was the chief bridesmaid. And that day, I just decided that, you know what? Chief bridesmaid, you're going to stay to the end of the wedding with your bride. So I was with my bride till the end. Like I promised myself I was going to stay there till the last song for the after party. Because after the wedding, we had after party. So I was just there chilling with her when it was time to leave. Because I even packed my box in the morning that I didn't want to go back to the hotel, that I would just go from the venue. When she was done and I was about to leave, she didn't go ahead to say, oh, that she doesn't think that I should go from there because apparently people that were even trying to go earlier, they could not find Uber because Uber was a bit scarce. That since it's still the island I'm going to, I could follow her to her hotel. Then from the hotel, we'll book a ride to go. That was not a bad idea. I'm like, that's nice of you. That's kind of you, my bride, And then I followed them. When we got to the hotel, I didn't even want to even climb upstairs. I'm like, see, babe, let me just go from here. So she's like, okay, book your ride. I booked my ride, and when the guy came, she even jokingly said, this one that looks like, I think she said kidnapper or something. I'm like, I beg. What's my own? I didn't care about the car. It's just take me to my house and all of that. And we started driving. The guy picked me, obviously. I put my things in the car. We started going. So immediately I got into the car, I just started checking my messages, all the calls that I missed. Because to be honest, that day I did not press my phone for more than at least 30 minutes in total throughout the wedding. I knew that I had a lot of messages to catch up on, text, all of that. And that's what I was just doing in the car. But at some point when we started driving, I realized that the guy had slowed down. So I was wondering why he was slow. So I put my head up to see what was happening. And this was that there was a police checkpoint in front. So I was even like, okay, no problem. But there's one thing I noticed, guys, that anytime I drive myself, I never have issues with police. Even when they stop me, it's always, oh, fine, madam, anything for us, or fine, madam, or anything. They don't really stop you to start asking for papers. It happens just very once in a while. But once I encounter police checkpoint and somebody is driving me, there's always an issue. Always escalate real quick. I don't know why. Anyway, so the police checkpoint got our turn. I was mostly pressing my phone because I'm like, What do they want to ask me? Like, what will he even want from me? It's the driver that he would face. So there were actually two police people. They were at the driver's side. So while they were there, they just asked the guy where he was coming from, and the guy said down the road. And then he said, "Okay, who is the passenger?" And then I look up and I'm like, "Oh, hi, good evening." I didn't even greeted him before. I greeted again that, "Good evening, sir." He said, "Oh, identify yourself." I'm like, "I'm a passenger. I booked a ride and I'm going home." And he said, "Where is home?" And like, "Home is Island." He said, "Okay, where are you coming from?" So he didn't even click to me at all. I'm like, "The hotel." Because that's where I'm coming from. And then he goes, "The hotel." I said, "Yes." He's like, "What were you doing in the hotel?" I'm like, "Oh, I was a bridesmaid." Like, see me innocently explaining myself. Oh, like, I was giving this guy innocent, correct updates. I was a bridesmaid, so we had the wedding. Really told him everything that happened. The bride just dropped me off, and we are just about to leave. Like, you get, and I'm leaving now already. And then he goes, "I know these people, their type. I know their type." And at that point, I'm confused and trying to understand what he's saying because I just told you that I was a bridesmaid coming from a wedding. So what type do you know? And then he started raising his voice. The other guy that was standing beside him was even just calm and everything. I didn't know that there was a plan to it. He said, "What's your name?" I told him my name. He said, "Nawa." He was just talking. And then I was just looking at him. Like I was still in the car, prostitutes, that news. I'm coming from a wedding. That wanting, just talking. By this time of the night, that who comes from by this time of the night, this guy was raising his voice. The next thing, he said, "I should calm down. He wants to search the vehicle." So when he said that, like, to be honest, like all this while, I was still very lost and confused. I had nothing in my head. Do you understand? So I just told myself that, okay, no problem. So I came down from the car. The driver also came down from the car. He Favor went to the driver's side. He was doing all the search he could search. He was doing so many things. Me, I was still just confused, quiet, calm. I wasn't moving. I was just there. And then the next thing he did was he came to my side, and then I heard him telling the driver, "See my hand, oh, see my hand, oh, there's nothing in my hand, there's nothing in my hand." But at that point, because he was even still raising his voice on the road, like literally, and I had come down from the car, I was just standing on the road with the Uber guy and the police guy. So I started to feel embarrassed. I started to just take a walk down. I was just walking down and pacing around, like, okay, pacing around. And then the next thing, he said, "Look at my hand." I said, "Hey, look at my hand, oh." To be honest, all this while, I wasn't even bored. I wanted the guy to just search the car and then I wanted to just go home because I was tired. After a while, for this, maybe like 3 or 2 minutes for the search, the next thing he brings out something and said he knew it, that he could bet on his life that this girl is a drug addict, that this girl is a. So all this while, I remember I said I was taking a walk. So I started hearing drug addict. I started wondering that, oh, was he calling when I was hearing girl and drug addict, I was lost because the driver is not a girl. Because it cannot be me he's calling a drug addict. I was so confused. And then I walked towards the car. I'm like, "Oh, like what's the issue?" He said he found this under my seat. There was a drug that he found under my seat. That he knew that when he saw me, that one thing, that the hotel I said I was coming from for a bride, that is a lie. That he knows that I'm coming from. So the guy was just saying different things. That me, I'm into drugs. That see my eyes there, my eyes look red. That he knows that those two drugs. This guy was shouting on the streets of Ikeja, you guys. I was just there looking and quiet. I'm like, God, like, what will I do now? Because he obviously found this thing now under my seat, right? Which he claimed under my seat. That what will I do? I'm just asking the Holy Spirit, what will I do? What will I do? I was thinking of calling my dad, but I'm like, before I call my dad, this thing might have gone too far. I just started saying, Holy Spirit, like, you need to help me out of this thing. This guy was not coming down. As soon as the guy started shouting, all the other police people that were at that place, like all the police people that had work that night, now gathered the car. That I should confess. If not, they will arrest me. I'm like, confess for what? Like, what did I do exactly? You found drugs. You said you found drugs under my seat, but like, I'm not even a drug addict. The next thing, they told the Uber guy to clear from the road. I want to enter this car and clear from the road. So they're going to arrest me and the Uber guy. The next thing this Uber guy will say is, that's sir. I don't know if he's under her seat that you found the drugs. Please take her alone. No, that me, I just picked this girl up like 3 minutes ago from that hotel down there. Like, doesn't know anything, doesn't know me, doesn't know anything about me. And the police guy says, "Oh, okay. If you don't know her, means we have to take her alone. Or if she says we can't take her alone, we have to take her with you. So you people should decide who is going to the station." You guys, this is how I was just looking because I was still trying to process everything that happened. Like, it was happening too fast for me. So I'm just like, what's happening here? Holy Spirit, like, what? I can't enter a police van because, to be honest, once I enter that van, Anything can happen. They can take my phone from me. Like, did you get? I was just very lost and confused. I was just praying in my heart that God, please, just help me, help me, help me, help me, help me, help me. The next thing, I don't even know where I got the courage from. This man was raising his voice, so I kept quiet all the while. I just said, "Let me see the drug you're holding." And then he goes, "Why? Why? Drug addict, why? Why?" I'm like, "Sir, you've been shouting since and I've been very calm with you. Now it's my turn. I'm not going to shout. I want to just see the drugs you're holding in your hand. What's the name of the drugs? Like, what's the drug about? You said you just found the drug under my seat. But what's this drug for exactly?" He said, "This is cocaine." He said, "This is," he was calling different drugs name. I was just looking at him. I was quiet. After a while, I realized that his shouting was no longer going anywhere. He now goes, "The name of the drug is," the thing is, I had the name of the drug saved on my phone for the longest time. So that when I want to do this video, I was going to come and tell the name of the drugs. But for some reason, that thing has cleared from my history. So I don't have the name of the drug again. But one thing that baffled me is that when I now asked him for the name of the drugs, this guy pronounced the name of the drugs correctly. It's actually a very long phrase of drugs. So when he pronounced it correctly, I'm like, wonderful. Like, I asked for the name of the drug. You didn't look at the name of the drug on the drug. You just called the name. And I'm like, that was very, very suspicious to me. I'm like, this doesn't even sound right, but okay. And I'll go, okay, so I need the spelling of the name. He now goes, "Why are you asking?" Then he now asks me something. He's like, "Are you a pharmacist?" I don't even know where that courage came from. I said, "Yes, I'm a pharmacist, and I want to read the drug, what the drug does to you." Like, see, when I said this boldness came from, I don't even know if it was God, because God did not make me lie. But I don't know where this boldness came from, you guys. But this boldness came. I just said, "I need to read the meaning of this drug to you." And the guy now starts saying, "No, this." I'm like, "Oga, you need to spell out this drug so that I can Google it and tell you what the meaning is." Because at that point, I didn't even know what the drugs was. And to be honest, if that drug was not what it was when I Googled it, if it was something else, I would have been in a serious mess. So he goes ahead to start calling the name of the drugs, called the name again. I tried to type it out. The next thing, he gave me the drug to me. He didn't really give me, but he held it in his hand and said, "This is the name of the drug." So I Googled the drugs, and the next first thing that came out was, "This drug is used for ulcer pain." Immediately I read that, I just said, "Thank you, Holy Spirit." I just said, "Oga, this drug they are claiming that is cocaine and everything. Do you know what the drug is for?" It's like, he knows it is hard drug. And I just read it out to him. This drug is for ulcer pain. Do you know what ulcer pain is? It's the kind of pain you have in your abdomen. I just started telling him things. He now kept quiet for a minute. Then the other police people that were now there, those ones, they were not even shouting. No. They just kept quiet that I should enter the van. We're going to station. Immediately cleared out the meaning of the drugs. They started leaving one by one, leaving one by one. They were not just two left. The two people that actually stopped the Uber guy, not the ones that were now there. The other one that had been quiet all the while now said, "Madam, even if you be pharmacist, you won't do something. Don't they shout for us now?" But I'm like, where did I raise my voice in all of this? Like, this man has been the one shouting. I've not even raised my voice yet. The only thing I've done is actually to ask for the name of the drug and to Google it. That's how the next thing, the man started changing out that I am lying. That's not what the meaning of the drug is. So I gave him my phone to obviously read out the meaning. And then when I started opening different tabs on that name of the drug to see the actual meaning, it's just a drug for pain relief, to be honest. And then the man now goes, "So what's my point now?" I'm like, "My point is that this is not cocaine. This is not hard drugs. And that can I go? Because you are delaying me. I need to be at home." He's not like that. And he doesn't think so. I'm like, "I don't understand. You've said this thing is hard drug. We've Googled this thing. We can see the real meaning of this drug. So why are you still keeping me here? Why do you want to still hold me?" Like, I started out shouting. I started getting very upset and changing it for him that you can't keep me here. Like, obviously, he knew that this one was already getting too angry. Oh. He now goes, "But next time, my eyes should not be red." I'm like, "I just told you that I was a bridesmaid. I was coming from a wedding. I mean, once I get tired or I'm overwhelmed, I'm feeling sleepy, most times my eyes will go red." He's like, this one, he was not trying to even smell my mouth. And that day, I didn't even have any tiny bit of alcohol. Nothing. So I knew that whatever the man was saying was not even from a place of, okay, maybe I drank or anything. He was just talking rubbish. I'm sorry to use that word, for lack of better words, rubbish and trash. He now goes, this one, he now, this man leaves the topic of the day and now goes, see my dress, that my dress has a slit. That kind of responsible girl be wearing a clothes that has slits. In my head, I'm like, I thought the topic was that I was a drug addict. Okay, now the drug thing is cleared. You're not leaving the focus of why you stopped me or why you're embarrassing me to not talk about my dress. You say, see your small cleavage is show. And I was like, who is this one? I said, Oga, see, if you don't have anything to talk about again, I need to leave. Like right now, I need to go to my house. Like I told you, I've been tired. I was at a wedding. I actually need to go. He was trying to still delay me for other things that I didn't understand. The next thing is like that he doesn't believe. We are checking this thing together. You still don't believe that. See my face. I look like a drug addict. And I was just like, wait, please. I'm coming from a wedding. I had a full glam makeup on. So please, how does somebody having a full glam makeup on look like a drug addict? Like, even in my non-makeup state, I don't look like a drug addict. She's like, this. I'm just like, what is your problem exactly? Like, how do I look like a drug addict? Like, how? Then the next thing, how many? I should open my bag. How many phones do I have? Like, this man literally drifted from the main topic of why he stopped me, moved to my dress. The next day, I should open my bag. He wants to see how many phones I had. And that day, I had three phones with me. I had two iPhones and my Samsung phone, which is my business phone. It's like, hey, like even if I'm not on drugs, there's something else that I'm into. Like at that point, you know when you just lose it. I lost it. I just started shouting. I'm like, okay, see, if you don't have what to do with your time, like I didn't even know where the boldness came from. I just changed it for him. I said, you know what? And I'm leaving. Like, you can't stop me at this point in time because what exactly is the problem? I started getting so upset. So he knew that this one, she was not the target for today. The next thing say, I should be going. My wallet is too much, I should be going. That's how I escaped from these people. And I just kept on asking myself that imagine I did not get that boldness to ask for the name of the drug. What would have happened to me that day? Like I'd have probably followed them to the cell. What I was in their car. What if they had changed the drugs while I was in their car? Like it would be their words against my word. And let me tell you guys something. Oh, when I got into the car and I was on my way home, that Uber guy, I gave it to him. Because I'm like, how do you sell me out like that? You saw me when I entered this car, and when I entered this car, we are not even doing up to 3 minutes. The only thing I did was put my box at the boot, and I was pressing my phone. So at what point did you see me put my hand under the seat? Like, because he literally just threw me out on the bus. Like, why would you do that kind of thing? He started apologizing to me that he was under a bit of pressure, he was under a bit of this. I'm like, even though like you don't treat your clients that way, how else you keep quiet? How else you don't even know who I am? How else you keep quiet? The guy was sure apologizing to me and all of that. That was how I escaped from police then. So, anyways, you guys, like if you are in a cab or you are in your own car and police even stops you, be very, very vigilant. I feel like if I had stood there while the guy was searching the car, I would have probably known because I don't even know how that thing was planted there. There are two ways to this. Either that thing, maybe that thing fell from the Uber guys, maybe from one of his other passengers or something, or the police actually planted it there. Because why do you know the name of an ulcer drug? A very long name of drug. Why do you know the name? Like, why do you know the name? But like, anyways, the moral lesson is that if you ever have an encounter with police or anybody that stops you, please always be very mindful. If possible, on touchlight to see where their hand is going inside the car to search. Be very vigilant so that you do not get caught. Because that night, if I did not have that boldness, to be honest, I do not know what will happen to me that day. Because anything that happened to me would have probably seized my phone and locked me up somewhere that I don't even know about. So please, guys, let's be very, very vigilant. We need to be vigilant in Lagos because this thing happened in Lagos. Very, very vigilant and all of that. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed telling it. Please, guys, very vigilant. I'll see you guys in my next video.